Hey, what's up everyone? This is Eli from checkit.com here with everyone's second favorite day of the week, Effects Friday, and today is actually on Friday, which is pretty awesome. I'm pretty proud of that. So, yeah, high five. So today we are going over neon graffiti, and I actually made up this effect. So, yeah, it's actually kind of cool. If you guys didn't see it in the intro, then here it is. It's pretty simple. Everyone's done a neon tutorial, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to make one. But then I was like, you know what, I don't want to be like everyone else, because Check It is all about being something different and being awesome and gangster. And you guys are a part of that. So, let's get to it. But before I do that, I got to tell you guys about some stuff. Like the text that I'm using is Phenotype, and you can get it for free on 1001 free fonts, and if you don't like that, there's a ton of great fonts you can use. And also this wall texture, I got it for free, freebies, you see that? You guys can get it too. I'll put a link in the description, or you know what, I'll just probably include it. And the last thing I wanted to say was, a lot of you guys are like, Eli, I want to hear from you more. I want to be a part of your life. You and Brandon, like, we miss you guys all the time, because we only upload one video a week each on this channel, but we actually upload every other day on our gaming channel. So if you guys want to see more of us, go check us out on there. And with that, I'm actually uploading video right now. But with that, I am ready to get into the tutorial. I have to kind of rush because I'm going over to my parents' house for Easter. So happy Easter, guys. And I'm sorry if this is kind of rushed, but the ending product is pretty cool. So I will be including this project in the description. So check it out. And like the video for that, because all of our hard work and stuff, we're giving away this stuff for free. So yeah, now, enough stalling, let's get into the tutorial. Goodness gracious. Okay, so let's actually just do a new project, just so we got a clean slate here. Okay, so over on the left, you'll see this 8B PC. And when you're working with neon, you want to hold Alt and click on that until you get to 32. That's 32 bits, and that just makes it like when you're working with neon, you can pick up all those subtle colors behind the behind the text and such. So you want to work with 32-bit. Next, we're going to click this little create new composition button, and let's just call it, you know, neon. Who cares what you call it? And I'm just going to make mine 6 seconds at 30 frames per second, full 1080p, because that's how Check It does it. Hit OK, and now we are ready to get started. So I'm going to double click in this blank canvas area over here, and I'm actually going to find the where is it, brick wall texture. Okay, so I'll be including this, but I just put it on my desktop, so I'm going to open it, and now I'm going to click and drag it down to here. I'm going to make the background first. So as you can tell, this is a little large, that's what she said. So I'm going to click on the corner, hold shift, and just drag it down to where I want it, and I think that'll look good. Yeah, I like that. So I'm just gonna call this brick wall. I'm gonna be naming everything, and to name stuff, you just click on the layer and you hit enter, and you can rename it. And I accidentally double clicked on it, so you have to have it selected, then you hit, wow, I'm failing on camera, you have it selected, you hit enter, and then you can rename it. So that's how I'm gonna be doing it, guys. So the next thing we're going to do is we're done with this layer. So next we're going to right click in this blank canvas area. We're going to go to new, and we're going to do a new adjustment layer. And the first thing we're going to mess with is a blur. So why does it keep doing that? Have it selected, hit enter, and I'm going to just call it blur. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go over to the effects and presets, and I'm going to type in box blur. And boom, there it is. Just like it should be. And I'm actually going to turn the blur radius up, and the iterations, I guess. I don't know. I'm not that smart. I'm going to put it down to like 12, and then the blur I'm going to put to like 3, and that'll give us a nice blur. And now I'm actually going to go up to this tool up here, and I'm going to select the ellipse tool. Then I'm going to double click it with blur selected, and it'll just create a mask. And then I'm going to invert it. I'm going to go to the drop down menu. I'm going to select feather. I'm going to turn it up to like 300 to 400 pixels, so it gives it a really nice feather. Now I'm going to select blur. I'm going to click over on this blank area. Why can't I see it? Yeah, so I'm going to, yeah, okay, so with blur selected, actually the mask selected, then you're going to click over in this blank area so you can select these individual points, and I'm actually going to drag all of these down. I don't know why it's so hard for me to explain stuff on camera. I get so nervous from you guys. Then we can mess with the expansion if you don't get exactly what you want. I actually want to push it out a little bit. And actually no, I don't want to push it out that much. Come on. And let's bring down the blur even more to like maybe 1 pixel, because it's a little intense. Yeah, that's a lot better. And then maybe just, let's see, which way is that bringing it? That's bringing it out. Let's bring it back in to get a little bit more. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna actually turn off the mask right now. Okay, so now we have this slightly depth of fielded brick wall texture, so that's pretty cool. Now we're gonna right click, go new adjustment layer again, and this time with it selected I'm gonna hit enter, and I'm actually just gonna call this EVGA for vignette. I'm gonna go over to here, I'm gonna click off of this, and you guys can create your own vignette. I'm just, in order to save time, I'm just gonna click and drag a misfire vignette onto here just to give it that look. And then also with vignette I'm gonna type in curves over here, but I'm actually going to put the curves on the vignette layer just to save time again. And I'm going to crush the blacks, maybe more, and then just raise the whites a little bit, just a slight S curve. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so with that, the background is now done. So moving on, let's go new text layer. And now let's type in whatever you want. I'm actually just going to type in, how about just check it. That's original, right? We never use that. And I actually already have it on neon in the side. That's the one I used. So I'm going to go up to the move tool. I'm going to center it by my eyes because I don't know how to make it perfectly center. I'm a noob, guys. I don't know why you guys want to learn from me. I'm just going to, I hit S with check it selected to bring up the scale options. And I'm actually going to size it down. Where do I want it? That actually looks pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, that looks really good. So now I'm just going to use the arrow keys to center it by eye. Yeah. Looking good. So with that, you guys are done. Great job, guys. And sorry, guys, I always have to do that at least once. You're not done. This looks so stupid. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is with check it selected, we're gonna go over to the effects and presets again. And here's where things get very interesting. We're gonna start with a nice blur. So let's type in Gaussian or just Ga, and the Gaussian blur will pop up. Click and drag it onto the check it layer, and then we're going to just bring up the blurriness to like 5.3. And that just gives it a little bit of a softness like most neon has, because it was kind of sharp before. If you can tell, it's like a black edge, and we don't want that. So you want to blur it first, and then we're going to type in glow, of course, because, you know, neon glows, guys. Come on. Get with the program over here. I'm going to just bring this up to like 37. I'm going to bring this up to like 76 and see how that goes. Actually, that looks pretty awesome. How did I know that? Because I'm a gangster. Keep practicing and you'll end up like me, kids. I'm just kidding. Okay, last thing we're going to do is we're going to type in hue. And we're going to color correct it with hue and saturation. And this is where your imagination should take over, guys. You are who you choose to be. So I'm going to turn up the master saturation up, and I actually want to make mine, I'll make it green this time because I did blue last time. So just mess with it until you get what you want. And I'm actually going to just keep messing with it. And there we go. Maybe a little brighter. Perfect. That actually looks like awesome neon to me. So good job, guys. So now we're ready to move on. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to create some lights. So first we're going to do is, you see these boxes, like this box? You need to turn on all the 3D layers. You need to just click and drag straight down to turn on and make all these 3D layers. Okay, then we're going to right click, go new. We're going to do a new light. And let's just start with a nice ambient light, and 34% is actually exactly what I wanted. So let's just call this ambient. Okay, and then we're going to hit OK. Goodness, my Battlefield thing's blowing up. And that does not look too good, but we're going to mess with it in a second. So here's what we're actually going to do. So that's just the ambient light. And with check it selected, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit AA to bring up the material options. And we're actually going to go to accept lights, and we're going to turn it off for the glow layers. So that still keeps our neon light bright, and it just makes the background, we can light the background differently and separately. So now we're going to right click and go another new light, and this time we're going to make it 100%. Oops, and I did not mean to hit enter and make it go that way. So next we're going to go a point light, and let's just call this point, and hit enter, and that should actually bring back all the other it should beautify the actual light, because it's got kind of ugly there for a second. And this you guys can always mess with the colors. I forgot to make this green. I actually want this green because my last one was blue. So there we go. Hit OK. That should light it up a little differently. Same here. Let's just bring it to green. Make it a nice bright green. And now let's... Whoa! Goodness gracious, that looks so ugly. Alright, let's mess with this some. That does not look good. That's way too bright. Let's bring down the intensity. Goodness gracious, that looks like poo. Actually, let's keep that up, and let's go to the ambient lights. See, guys, just mess with it. I mean, I could tell you guys exactly what to do all day, but, I'm not your boss. And I'm not your bra. If you guys can name the movie that's from, I will love you forever. Okay, so it's actually not looking too bad. It's not the same. Actually, I'm gonna go back to the vignette, and I'm actually going to crunch these some more. Give it more of a creepy look. And that is way too... Just keep messing with it. I don't like that. It's too green. It's way too green. It's just like insanely green. No one wants green like that. There we go. Now we're starting to get the color back. And I actually don't like how dark this vignette is right now, so I'm actually going to turn the size up and turn the intensity down. The size up some more, maybe the intensity up a little more. So you just got to keep messing with it, guys, until you get exactly what you want. And ambience, let's turn it down just a tad bit more. And this will also turn down. Now we're getting somewhere. So a little more green. Goodness. Okay. Finally we're getting to something okay looking. Okay, so now you're probably wondering how I did that really cool looking centered glow. And this is how I did it, guys. So we're going to hold the control with check it selected, and then we're going to hit D. Control D. And we're going to call this new check it layer. We're going to hit enter with it selected, and we're going to call this glow. Okay, we're going to drag it beneath it. And let's make it overlay. Just if you don't have these blending modes, you can hit F4, and it'll bring up the blending modes, and then just select overlay for the glow layer. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mess with these settings right here. So let's turn up the glow radius and turn up the glow threshold just to make it go all over the place out here. And why isn't it working the same? Let me turn off this top layer. Okay, so maybe the intensity. We gotta turn up the intensity. Yeah, there we go. Turn the intensity way up. This is getting kind of creepy looking. Goodness. Okay, we'll turn the threshold down then. Whoa! Okay, there was the problem. Turn it up to like 67 maybe. Okay, maybe not so intense, and maybe the glow radius down a little bit. It's just... Now let's turn this back on. Whoa. Okay, so the glow layer, let's actually make it a little more green because that's kind of yellowish looking. Okay, go back to the glow. It's still pretty intense, so let's actually drop that down. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. And guys, just keep messing with it. Like, that's the best advice I can give. So for check it, I'm going to make it. Let's try luminosity and see how that looks. That's kind of cool. It doesn't give it that look. So let's try vivid light. Whoa, that's really cool. I like that. But what can we do to this? Let's turn down. Actually, let's turn up the glow radius a little bit. Turn down the intensity. Yeah, now we're talking. That looks pretty awesome. So with that, now we have the look pretty much done, guys. So let's move on. The last thing I wanted to do, actually there's two more things. The first thing is we got to add in a camera. So let's do that first. New camera. And I'm going to make it a 35mm. I'm just going to keep it called camera. I'm going to bring down the camera options, and I'm going to, with the selector all the way to the left, start at the starting point, click the zoom keyframe, go all the way to the back, and then we're going to zoom in to like 2000 and see how that looks. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just a slight zoom just to give it some action. And with that, now that part of it's done. So good job. Now let's animate the lights a little bit. So then they're kind of flickering a little bit, and it's not just some boring thing. Let's start with the ambient light. So what we're going to do is we're going to select intensity, then we're going to hold Alt, and we're going to click on the stopwatch. Then we're going to type in wiggle, and then we're going to do, let's just do a 2,10. That'll look good. Okay. And the next thing, we're going to do the same thing with intensity. Let's do a nice wiggle. Let's do a 1.5 comma 13. That'll be a nice different look. Okay, and then let's also go to, what should we mess with? How about the glow? Yeah, the background glow. And let's mess with the intensity. That'll be cool. So click Alt, and let's just do a nice wiggle. Let's just do 2,8. And let's also mess with the radius. Just do, like, you guys can spend more time on this and just see what you like. Actually, whoa, that went way down. Yeah, I don't even see it anymore. What happened there? Is it wiggling too much? Whoa. Yeah, I don't like how much that's wiggling. So let's actually put that down to like 0.5 comma 3. Same with this. So wiggle 0.3. I mean, just barely anything, but still something that you guys can see. And with that, now our animations should look pretty tasty. Okay, so the last thing I want to put in is that what's it called? The particles. So let's go find our particles and actually start with going to your project over here. And now we're going to go to where you guys have your particles. You guys can always make them yourself using Snow, but I'm going to use Video Copilot's Evolution. So if you guys want this, I'll put a link in the description where you can buy it. It's very handy. I always use the stuff from it. So if you guys are really getting into filmmaking and such, you definitely want to get that. So, okay, so particles. Now let's click and drag it into the top of this layer. And as you can tell, it's only 720p. So what we're going to do is we're going to size her up, and then we're going to select it. Whoa, what is going on here? It's lagging. Okay. it's getting pretty intense, so I'm going to switch it down to half. This just makes everything a little more pixelated, but it loads faster. So I'm going to select particles, I'm going to hit enter, and I'm just going to call it particles. Okay. Alright, so now I want to mimic the same look as the ambient light here, so let's just go to the check it layer. Okay, and then let's go down to the, oh wait, no, we have to go up here, and we're going to just select all of these effects, and I'm going to hold shift. I'll show you that again, because I kind of did it fast there. I'm going to select Gaussian blur, I'm going to go down to hue and saturation, hold shift and click, and I'm going to hit Control C to copy those effects. I'm going to make that drop down menu go away, and then in these effects and presets for particles, I'm going to Control V, and that just pastes all those effects onto these layers. But I need to tweak them a little bit because they are a little intense here. So let's drop all this down. There's no color left in this, so let's actually bring up the color and the lightness. Okay, this is still, I'm actually gonna get rid of the Gaussian blur too. I don't like that. Okay, I'm just gonna look at this particle right here. I'm just gonna mess with it until I get exactly what I want. Come on. Actually keep the radius up, but intensity I probably have to bring down. No. Why aren't you turning green? Goodness. Well, I guess white isn't bad. I don't know why I can't figure out how to turn it green, but in the interest of time, I guess I'm going to have to just skip this part. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to make this a luminosity with the blending modes. Whoa, no, I'm not. That actually looks kind of cool, but no. How about soft light? Yeah, soft light works really good. And now I'm going to select particles. I'm going to hit T, and then I'm actually going to go to about 3 seconds. I'm going to hit the keyframe for opacity. I'm going to go to the back. I'm just going to drop it all the way down to 0. And that just does a nice fade out because it doesn't go all the way through 6 seconds. So, very cool. So with that, now we are done. Great job, guys. I will render this out, and you guys can check out what we made together 3 times at the very end. I'm very happy to be making tutorials for you guys, and all your guys' positive feedback really helps out. So go check out Check It Gaming. Maybe you guys want to subscribe or whatever. And we do reply to all the comments on there, so it'll be just a great time. Go check us out. And you know what? I'll render this out for you guys real quick so you guys can see how to do it. So the shortcut for rendering is Control M. So if you just have this this panel down here selected, you can go Control M, and then we're going to click lossless. And then what I always choose is Windows Media now, just because it makes them so much smaller. That's what she said. And then you go to the output cycle, and I'm just going to save it to the desktop, and I'm just going to call it Neon. And that was the old one right there. So it looks like my old one had a more spread out, and I like that better. I'm actually going to do that before I render this. So glow, let's do more of a, oh wait, my radius is toggling, so maybe it does that more. Let's just turn it up and see what happens. Yeah. I actually like that better. Cool. Okay, so back to render queue, and keep it on Neon. There you go. Save, and then we can just hit render, and boom. Now it is rendering out, and it might take a while, but it's worth it, guys. So yeah, I will see you guys next week on Friday, and have a great Easter weekend, and yeah, peace out, guys.